Welcome to Stories with Dice. This is the Sword Campaign, a Pendragon actual play podcast using the 6th edition starter set from Chaosium. If you're enjoying our actual plays, please subscribe to Stories with Dice so you'll never miss an episode. Don't forget to rate and review us. It really helps others discover the podcast. Follow us on social media to stay updated, share your thoughts, and join the conversation. You'll find the relevant links in the description of each episode. Last time on the Sword Campaign, our valiant Salisbury knights overcame a sudden ambush by Picts and continued their journey to Cameliard. At Caro House, they met Sir Hyfid, the Castellan, who informed them that King Leo de Grance's arrival was imminent. While awaiting the king, the knights hunted with Sir Hyfid. When Leo de Grance arrived, they delivered King Arthur's message and learned troubling news. King Lot's army was even larger than the force he led the previous year. Nevertheless, Leo de Grance agreed to join Arthur's forces in Lambor to face Lot. With time running short, the knights pressed northward to treat with Count Sanam of Bedegrade. But in the mysterious forest of the Silver Deer, a man suddenly blocked their path, transforming before their eyes into a massive, fearsome wolf. We open on a massive wolf, its hulking frame pacing back and forth across the old Roman road, the uneven cobblestones clicking faintly under its claws. Its eyes gleam with an eerie, calculating intelligence. A low growl escapes its throat. Your horses grow nervous, their hooves shifting uneasily on the road. In the woods on either side of you are wolves gathering, eyes gleaming from the underbrush, their forms blending seamlessly with the shadows. They're waiting. They're watching. Then that giant wolf on the road ahead of you suddenly shifts. Its massive form ripples and contorts, muscles and fur transforming with unnatural speed. In moments, the animal is gone, replaced by a man. He strides briskly down the road toward you, his gaze sharp and unyielding, studying each of you intently as he draws closer. What do?
I start crossing myself. I'm looking to Sir Histowin because this is his bag because of his religion, not mine. I won't lie. I'm happy to face a battle. I'm not happy to face something I can't explain.
What is this, Sir Histowin? What is this witchery? I don't understand.
This is an old forest, and it's old magic. It hasn't attacked yet. Shall we see what it wants? And because the horse is uneasy, I'll get down from the horse.
Okay. Now, which one of you has the highest honest?
Of 8.
I've got 13.
Yeah. It's going to be Sir Histowin. It's definitely not me. I've got 8.
Okay. So the man who's the wolf man, we'll call him, as he strides forward, Sir Histowin, you get down off your horse and he eyeballs you and he says, "The eyes of the druid track you." And then he points overhead, and up overhead you can see a raven is circling. Why?
We travel to take a message to a king, from a king. We travel through the forest here. I don't know exactly why.
He puts his hand up to sort of like signal you to stop speaking, and he turns his head, tilting it as if listening to a breeze that's whispering through the trees. And then he nods after a moment. It's almost as if he's speaking to the trees, and he says, "Ah, yes, of course, thank you." And then he turns back to you, and he says, "Did you know the druid protects you from this one?" And he points at Sir Caradoc. "The Spriggan's curse will catch up with him soon. I warn you, don't be around when it does."
I look at Sir Caradoc.
That might be true. But who is this druid that you're talking about?
You know of whom I speak. You call him Merlin.
I see. Indeed, we are in the service of our King Arthur, Merlin serves him.
Yes, you are on an errand from the south for this boy king who now rules there. Tell me," and he points again at Sir Histowin, "tell me about this new king of yours."
He brings a new order, throws out the corruption that has brought the kingdom down in the past. He seeks to unite the world of men and bring peace to the land. However, there are those that oppose him that need to be defeated first, and this is a part of our mission.
World of men. Listen to yourself. It is exclusionary. Now tell me, is it true then that Merlin supports this boy?
He bade us to actually look after the new king, to nurture him, to fulfill what was prophesied. For whatever reason, he believes in the king.
Why does Merlin make an alliance with the one god who seeks to supplant the many? Does he think this desert god alone can mend the wounds of our broken isle? There are other ways older than the standing stones, that can make whole what you men have broken. And then he turns toward the bushes on either side of the road, and he makes a wolfish sound, and the packs of wolves that had been gathering disperse. And he turns back to you and he says, "You have done me a favor. I see the truth in you. Take this." And he reaches for a pouch that's hanging around his neck, and he pulls out a hand-carved wooden whistle, and he gives it to you, Sir Histowin, and he says, "If you are ever nearby and in great need, blow on it. It will only work once."
Thank you, sir. To what name shall I give you and your generosity?
"I am Bledwin, the son of Gwydion and Gilvathy, when they were wolves. But it is time for me to go now. The hunt awaits." And before your eyes, he changes shape again into that enormous wolf. And he snaps his teeth and he runs off into the forest.
I look at Sir Histowin. What was that?
I've heard tales of such creatures. He's a man and a wolf. Both. Such things have been said to happen in the old ways.
It's very unsettling.
Very.
But this whistle, he said he would come to our assistance if needed. I will keep this safe and maybe talk to Merlin if we find him again.
Keep that devilry away from myself, please.
Yeah, maybe we should make haste to make our way through the woods here and stay to the path as we've been told.
Having seen that, I think staying to the path is probably best.
Okay, so near the end of the day, you arrive at the Castle of the Doves in Duffield. It's a Moat and Bailey stronghold, but the name feels ill-suited. There's little of peace or warmth here. The cobblestone road beneath your horse's hooves shifts to rough-packed earth as you cross into the Bailey, where an unsettling quiet hangs in the air. The castle seems deserted. Only a handful of people are moving about, servants performing some duties. A single guard paces the wall, and ahead of you, a man stands. He has a weathered face. "I am the steward," he says. "Who are you?"
"Sir, we bring message for your king from the young King Arthur."
"King? You mean Count Sandham? There's no king here."
"Apologise, sir. Yes, for the Count."
"Well, out with it. I haven't got all day."
"Our message is for the Count. However, we would be grateful if you could point us in the direction."
"Well, my lord, Count Sandham, sends his regards and regrets that he cannot be here in person to receive your embassy. I act in his stead. I assure you that whatever you say to me, you say directly to the Count. Whatever gifts you have brought, you may leave them with me."
"So, you seem to have some foreknowledge of our mission."
"No, you told me you could only give the message to the Count, and I'm telling you that he is not here, and you can give it to me. I am not a soothsayer."
"Well, as for gifts, unfortunately, we bear none at this moment."
"You bear none?"
"Aye, my lord."
"This is an insult."
"My lord, none is intended."
None is intended, and yet you do it nonetheless.
You'll find that another lord has taken your gift.
He raises an eyebrow. Taken? A gift meant for my count?
Indeed. We didn't have much choice. There were the three of us and a castle full of guards.
You want to give me a courtesy roll, Sir Ian?
Yes, I will do. So I need an 11. Oh, I've rolled a 9, so I succeeded.
Yeah, so you can tell that this is probably going to hurt your cause, but there's little to do now about it. And so the steward says, well, join us for an evening meal, I suppose, such as it is. Come with me. And you go into the castle, and it's dimly lit corridors feel hollow. Hall is sparsely decorated. The food is not particularly good, and there's not enough of it. The ale is flat. You notice that as he took you into the castle and brought you to the Great Hall, that the garrison here is sparse, and its presence is so minimal that it raises doubts about the castle's ability to defend itself. And there's no flourish or ceremony to the meal. There's no music. There's no laughter. And when you're done, the plates are cleared in silence. No one is really talking to anyone else. And then the steward just turns and says to you, are you giving the message or not? You've been fed.
And we are grateful for you giving us what you have. You have fulfilled all your obligations to chivalry. We once again apologize for the lack of gifts which were intended for you. And as it was our shortcoming, may I offer my service to some small extent to make up for this to your count and your estate.
Well, I don't want your service. You've come with a message. You've lost the gifts. Out with it.
To be frank,
oh, here we go. This will be good.
we have been tasked with asking your lord if he would join the young king in defence against the marching armies of King Lot of the North.
I should think not.
But would that not be a choice of your lord?
It would. And I speak for him. Your answer is no.
Where is he?
My lord?
Yes.
My lord is off on business. Lord's business, sir. Know your place.
So, Marco, in the grand scheme of things, he is the sort of the master of the household, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
So I take it he's classed as a higher rank than us.
Yeah. Yeah, knights are at the bottom of the
list.
of the list. Yeah.
Okay. I won't say anything. I will just stare at him.
Okay. If you wish it, you may stay the night. You will find chambers prepared for you. But if it is your will to leave, you have my permission to do so.
Keep my lord.
I think we'll leave on the morrow. We thank you for your hospitality. If there's anything else that we can do for you.
No, I should think not. Good night to you, sirs.
Good night.
And a servant comes, and he bids the servant to take you to your chambers. He wasn't wrong. The chambers are prepared, but they're pretty awful. The beds are uncomfortable. The bedding maybe hasn't been washed. There's a bit of a foul smell in the room.
Do you think we could promise them some money? They could maybe spruce up the place a little bit.
They are certainly lacking in service. And
Also, I don't trust him.
I also got that feeling as to his motives. I'm not sure.
Do you think he's on the side of King Lot?
I didn't get any direct feel for that, but he's certainly obfuscating over something.
I wonder if we can have a wander around this evening. I mean, take the night air, that kind of thing.
Get maybe a quick wander around, maybe even a conversation with one of the servants might reveal more.
I would say we can send our squires to do this job.
Certainly Sir Caradoc, less conspicuous, I must say. Yes.
So I will ask Owen on perhaps if you want to send your squires to, go to the kitchen, go to the stables, typical places. Each one can perhaps find a place in the house and see what news they bring. Perhaps they bring us some insight on a way to sway this lord.
perhaps. Phoenix!
Each of you give me a squire roll, please.
Damn Phoenix.
Okay, success for Owen.
A success for Felix as well. Minus 400 because he's a lazy son of a...
Young Neb, go to the kitchens. Talk to the kitchen maids.
Critical. Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
So I figure if they go do that, we can have a look around, see what we can see. I'm just concerned there's no one here, and it's just a skeleton crew, and there's, I don't know, just something not quite right about the whole place.
So Owen goes to the kitchens. Where are you sending Felix?
I'll send Felix to the servants' quarters.
Okay. And where are you sending Neb?
I'll send him to tend to the horses and talk to the stable lads and squires there.
Okay, so he's going to the stables. All right. And then, so are the three of you sticking together, or are you also going to doing different things?
Maybe if we stick together, it makes more sense if we're all sort of like taking the night air together and having a walk around and discussing things. That would look less suspicious.
Okay. So let me know where you guys are going.
I would say praying would be good after seeing this wolf man. Must be a chapel. And perhaps the priest?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, while you're at the chapel, I'll probably go and stand at the front gate of the place. Maybe talk to the guards.
And Sir Ian?
Yeah, I'll go with Sir Caradoc to the chapel. My plan being is that if the chapel is richly appointed, then we know it's doing well. If it's not, even more suspicious.
Yeah. Okay. So the two of you find the chapel. The altar is bare. There are no treasures of the church. There's no cross. There's a layer of dust on the floor. No footprints.
So Caradoc, this is very strange. It's almost as if people or everyone that's here have avoided the chapel. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but it's as if this isn't their castle. I feel like, no, there's only a few people. I'm concerned that the people here are not who they say they are.
You mean?
Look at the way they've been defending the keep. There isn't enough of them. I don't really know about we'll find out once our squires speak to the servants. But
if you say this, then where are the people? Do you think the dungeons?
Potentially.
Dungeons on the castle?
I mean, I don't know how we'll be able to get into that, but I guess if there's not many people around, then Marco, when we've been walking around, have we actually seen many people sort of like, or is it still just as bare? And
it's just as bare as when you entered. Yeah. You may have walked by a servant or something, but hardly any guards. It certainly doesn't have the population level that one would expect.
I would say let's go check the dungeons.
Sir Histolin, you go out to the gate, and that same single guard that was pacing back and forth on the wall when you entered is still there. You notice that his armor is a bit shabby and loose fitting in some places. You can't tell if maybe he's wearing someone else's armor or if maybe he's just losing weight because he hasn't been eating as much lately. It's a little impossible to tell, but do you want to approach him, or what are you doing as you're walking toward the palisades?
Yeah, I'll walk up to him.
Okay, so you walk up the stairs up to the top of the wall, and he is taken aback by you being up there. As he's pacing back and forth, he turns around to walk back the way he came, and he just sort of sees you right there. If you were an intruder, you would have gotten the jump on him. And he clutches his spear even tighter, white knuckling the spear in his hand, and he's like, "Oh, excuse me, sir. I didn't know you were there. Are you lost?"
"No, but you're supposed to be on guard duty. How did I creep up on you so easily? Do you even know how to use those weapons?"
And he sort of angles it down at you a little bit, and he's like, "Try me.
I am a guest of your lord."
"That you are, and you just threatened me."
"I did not threaten you. I am just concerned that me and my companions are to be guarded by you overnight, and I was not sure if you were adequately up to the job."
"Besmirch my honor, sir, but never you mind. I am well trained and well versed in all manner of weapons."
"That's good to hear it. Maybe you could spend more time keeping those weapons in good condition."
You're a strange guest, insulting your hosts.
Don't see how I'd be insulting my hosts.
This is a losing conversation. I should get back to guarding the gate. What was it you came up here for anyway, except to piss me off?
As I said, me and my friends are to stay here the night, and I wish to make sure that the guards were up to the job.
Well, now you've made sure.
Certainly found out something.
What would that be?
You seem to have no problem in talking roughly to your superiors.
My superiors? You?
So you're questioning the position of a knight?
Are you a knight?
Aye.
Who knighted you?
Well, my lord, Count Robert.
Never heard of him. Where's he from?
Sarah.
Never heard of it. Where's that?
In the south.
In the south. In the far south?
Well, south of here.
Is that Logris?
Yeah, down that way, yeah.
There are no lords in Logris. I think this count of yours pulled the wool over your eyes. You call yourself a knight.
So then, what of the reputation of your lord, then?
What of it?
Well, what great deeds is he renowned for?
Count Sanem? Oh, he's won many battles. Kept us safe from the Saxons, he has.
Good to hear. And you've fought by his side?
I've defended this castle.
Have you needed to in recent times?
The Saxons give us trouble sometimes. Give me an intrigue roll.
No.
Yeah, you've heard of Saxons raiding these parts often enough that it seems like he's telling you the truth.
Well, be sure to raise the alarm well if any trouble arises.
Don't you worry. You and your friends will sleep tight tonight. Won't be any Saxons harrying us this evening.
I'll wander back down and see if I can find my companions.
Okay. So, Sir Caradoc and Sir Ian, you are both heading down to see if you can find some dungeons. So, you go down the stairs. You're wandering around another level of the castle. You find some more stairs. You go down another level. You're looking around, and you turn a corner of a corridor, and there's an old man, and he's mopping up the floor. The corridor is lined with a bunch of doors, and there are torches for lights on either side. And he turns to you. Don't recognize you.
Just going to walk straight up towards him and go look at one of the doors. Are they essentially like cell doors with like a little
no, there's normal
window or whatever?
Just normal
doors. Okay.
normal doors. Yeah. And when you get closer to him, he goes, "Oh, that's better." And he's looking at your colors.
Tabard and stuff.
Yeah. And he says, "You aren't from here, strangers."
Indeed, old man. What happened here? I look at the mess on the floor.
Cleaning up some cat piss.
I see.
Are you lost?
Yes, we were kind of like looking to find our way towards a kitchen. We were a little bit hungry still. We kind of got turned around, I suppose, and we kind of this way. What's that way? And I point as I walk past him.
Ain't no kitchens down here.
Well, what's this way then?
It's back that way. And he's pointing back the way you came. Back this way is the armory.
Oh, okay.
Which strikes you as strange because there's no one guarding the armory.
Yeah, it's just odd. Okay. Have you worked here long? Have you lived here long?
My whole life.
Where's your lord, can I ask?
My lord. Count Sanem, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, he's sliding with a great... Oh. And he like almost catches himself and he slaps his face a little bit and he's like, "Sorry, you're not supposed to tell strangers that one."
Would you like to repeat it?
They'll cut me tongue out.
I won't say anything on it.
Why do you want to know?
Well, what do you think of the gentleman in charge of the castle while your lord is away?
Steward?
The steward. I imagine he's not the friendliest of sort he comes across as.
He walks around like he's got a pole up his bunghole.
I laugh. I basically, I put my hand on his arm and kind of offer some sort of like contact and just kind of like laugh and stuff. And you've been doing a lot of work. Can I get you a drink?
Mighty kind of you. Sir Caradoc, what are you doing while they're having this chat?
Just moving around and looking, perhaps even continue walking around while Sir Ian is distracting this servant.
Yeah, you walk to the end of the corridor to a door, and it's got a little window with bars, and you peek through and you can see it. It's an armory, and it's mostly empty, and there's no one guarding the door.
Where is everyone? I go back to this old man. I say, "Why is this castle so empty?"
Oh, There's a war coming.
Indeed, there is a war coming, but where is everyone?
Off, doing what you do when a war is coming.
Riding with King Lot, right?
Naturally. Oh, we did it again. You won't tell, will you?
Of course not. Why would we tell? I'll go get you that drink.
Thank you.
And I'll wander off, leaving Sir Caradoc to chat to the guy.
No, I just
You're
leave.
just going to walk off as well. Okay.
He's like, you're coming back, aren't you? You know, don't tell the last time someone told, you'll never. And then like his voice is trailing off as you're walking away.
I will go get a drink and bring it back to him. And then see if I can get some more information out of it.
Okay, so while you're doing that, Sir Swin, where are you headed?
I'll probably head back to the rooms and wait for the other knights to turn up, or any of the squires to turn up with further news.
Yeah, so you go back to your lodgings, and Neb is there waiting for you, and he's pacing back and forth. He looks really nervous.
Neb, you found anything out?
Aye, sir. The stable boys. Count Sanham has pledged himself to Lot. I don't think we're safe here.
That would explain the lack of staff here. If most of the men-at-arms have gone to join the army, heading south.
Yeah, the Count's army's marching with Lot's, and that's not even the half of it, sir.
Ah, what else?
Come, look, and he takes you down this corridor to a window, and he points out the window, and you can see sort of against the light of the moon on a hill, there's a crucifix, and it looks like there might be someone on it. And he says, "Used to be their priest." And then we cut back to Sir Ian and Sir Caradoc. So you've got him a drink. You've come back to the old man who's finishing up cleaning the cat piss off the floor. And he turns around and he goes, "What, are you lost?
I found the string for you.
It's you again." And he takes the drink, and I can't remember what we were talking about.
Oh, you were telling me how much you needed a drink because you were doing a lot of hard work here.
Yes. Thank you, my boy.
I realized he doesn't remember what we were talking about. So I kind of realized that probably I won't bother to bother him anymore, and kind of I'll wander off and say, we'll speak to you soon, I'm sure.
Nice meeting you.
You too. He's a feeble old man. Thankfully, he's not going to understand that we've had a conversation, Sir Caradoc.
That was a missed opportunity to ask him if he's loyal to Lot.
Well, he's a crazy old man. I mean, I don't think he's going to know any more than that.
You never know.
Perhaps Sir Histelwin has probably had more luck than us, but I definitely feel that whatever's going on here is not good.
What is clear is that we need to tell King Arthur about one of the lords joining the King Lot. I mean, he might be facing a bigger enemy than expected.
I think first thing in the morning at first light, we leave.
Okay, so you're returning back to your lodgings?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get back to your room, and there you see Sir Histelwin speaking to his squire Neb, and just behind you as you enter come in Felix and Owen as well.
What do they report?
So Felix tells you that he went to the servants' quarters and got reprimanded for wandering around by this mean old lady. But while he was coming back, he overheard two guards whispering that the steward is nervous that you're here. And Sir Caradoc, Owen returns from the kitchen to tell you that when Count Sanham pledged his fealty to King Lot, Lot's men came and murdered their priest. Anyone who would not renounce their Christian faith was dragged out and never to be seen again.
This is a great opportunity for Arthur, perhaps.
So we take the castle.
And at least, I don't know to what degree these people are loyal to Count Sanham anymore.
But the steward has shown us the hospitality that he should.
I know.
No, we will not do anything. We'll just report back to Arthur and leave in the morrow.
Yes, that is what we'll do. Leave first thing tomorrow and tell Arthur.
So how many days have you been tracking it? How many days have gone by?
So we are currently on day 13 going into day 14.
I suggest we should set a watch for the night.
Yes, I think so.
The night goes by uneventfully, though Neb is really terrified. And I imagine, Sir Histowin, even though you're not of the faith, that the fact that they crucified the priest of this castle probably it horrifies you as well, that they would be so barbaric. Or not. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a very knightly thing to do.
Exactly. And so the night goes by quietly. No one accosts you in your sleep. And so how do you want to return? Do you want to return the way you came, or do you want to take the main road?
I guess probably the fastest route. So I think when we leave, we'll probably leave early saying that thank you very much for the time, I guess. Don't leave it on bad terms with the steward, because we don't want to kind of like clock on that we know there's something about just, okay, well, thank you very much. We plead our case. We'll go back to Arthur and say that we're waiting for a response, and we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. So in that case, with your errands complete and time of the essence, you take the old Roman road back to Carleon. But part of the way there, it becomes clear to you that you're not going to make it in time. And then from the shadowed woods, a woman steps onto the cobblestone in front of you. Her robe is a deep, shadowy black, so intricately woven that it appears almost feather-like, fluttering as if alive with its own rhythms. In her hand, she clutches a wriggling white rabbit. I am a friend and student of Merlin, she says. You'll never make it in time. You must follow me. With a swift motion, she slits the rabbit's throat and utters a word in a language foreign to your ears, ancient and lyrical.
What foul sorcery is this, witch?
And she looks up at you and says, for everything there is price. It is the way of the world. And then around her the air starts to stir, and behind her the boughs of these two old trees bend and twist, their limbs groaning with some strange unnatural force. The branches arch inward, forming a doorway as the air between them shimmers, the surface of a pond rippling from a cast stone. We must hurry, the woman says. The ley lines can be unpredictable. And then she steps through the shimmering doorway, her form wavering as though viewed through water. On the other side, she turns and extends her hand, beckoning you to follow.
What are we seeing, woman?
I cannot keep this gate open.
We'll just go through. I'm reckless.
You lean down from your horse, grasp her outstretched hand, and feel her steady pull as she draws you and your steed through the shimmering doorway.
I follow. I'm reckless as well, so I'm just like, yep, okay. If one's going, I'm going.
I'll look back at the squires, nod to them, and then look back to the thing and just kick the horse, and off we go, head straight for it.